when it comes to this kind of allegation, does it really happen? Yes, of course, they do, particularly when it comes to, the government cycle, where, people wield all kinds of powers, being your boss and all that. So when you refuse to do what they ask you to do, they will punish you for that. And one of the punishment will be taking you out of, your comfort zone in the department where you are and put you in a department where you just run away, where nothing happens. And they forgot you there. And that's one of their ways, of punishing people. A work environment is supposed to protect the women, seriously, because women working in a male-dominated environment is not easy. It's not easy for them. So the way they are treated, the way they are managed and other need to be very exceptional. So when you look at the frustration, even in the face of Senator Natasha Akpoti, it tells you what she has gone through, in the red chambers, and more especially if truly she has been singled out, for all this kind of pay-to-play. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Andy Media TV, welcoming you once again on Trending Stories. There is more trouble for the Nigerian Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, over the incident that took place, a few days back at the legislative chambers. Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan was reassigned to a different seat on that day, which she declined to sit on. And based on the legislative rules, the Senate President refused to give her a platform to speak because you are meant to be on the seat assigned to you before you are privileged to speak on the floor of the Senate. Based on this fact, there was a lot of chaos in the House that day, which led to the media team of the Senate President to release a press statement stating that Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan has little understanding of legislative rules. They also made a comment that legislative work is not all about pancaking her face as well as wearing transparent clothes to the chambers. This publication did not sit well with Senator Natasha Akpoti, which made her to file a lawsuit for defamation and claiming 100 billion naira as damages, and also 300 million for the cost of prosecuting the case in court. So after this incident, a new development and a new twist to these issues have arose as the same Senator Natasha Akpoti, was today on Arise television alleging that the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, had been sexually harassing her. And this has caused a lot of stir in the social media and in Nigeria in particular. So before I proceed further on this conversation, let's take a look at this video and hear what Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan has to say concerning the sexual harassment issues. And we'll be right back. Let's take a look at the video. Don't go away.
Many people do not know what I'm about to say, but I'm going to speak my own truth. And the Senate President is allowed to counter that. It all started on the 8th of December, 2023, which was a day before his birthday and my birthday. We are birthday mates. We were all in Akwa Ibom because he had a big fanfare in the stadium. Myself, my husband, and a few of his close friends, we went to Akwa Ibom. And at first, we were at Ikot Ekpene. We were in his house in Ikot Ekpene. Then we all moved to his house in Uyo, which was about 8 p.m. And he held my hand and said he wanted to show me around his house. My husband was walking behind us, just three of us. We're walking around from room to room. He showed me the beautiful interior. This was done by this, by that, this designer here, he bought this from us. Like, God, it's beautiful. And then I noticed that he hastened his pace while still holding my hand. My husband was behind, still on his phone, but he was catching up whenever he could. And then he got to this particular sitting room, and he said, "Do you like my house?" I said, "Of course, sir. Every room, beautiful, nice interior, quality taste." He said, "Now that you're a senator, I'm going to create a time for us to come spend quality moments here. You will enjoy it." At that point, I just pulled away, and I was like, I don't really understand what exactly that meant. I thought that was going to be the end. But then, in February, I wanted to move a motion. I wanted to move a motion for the investigation on the ills of the corrupt practice in Ajakuta Steel Company. I listed that motion 5 times. It was the 6th time that it was listed on the other paper that was approved. Many senators can testify to that. Each time the motion is listed, just before he takes it, he will say, "Oh, Senator Natasha, we can't take this motion because the board of the Senate does not accommodate it." Or he will speak on others and then let it drag so that just before the motion is taken, the time will be well spent. So he kept on doing that. I went to him in his office And I said, Senate President, you know how important this Ajakuta Steel Company to me is. You know how important it is to my people and to Nigerians. I've noticed that you have stepped down this motion. As a matter of fact, a number of senators told me, go and see him and plead with him so that he would take it. I was like, sir, please, why can't you take this motion? It's very important. It's been listed. Then it was listed a third time and stepped down. He then said, Natasha, I'm the chief presiding officer of the Senate. You can enjoy a whole lot if you take care of me and make me happy. At that point, I said, sir, I'll pretend that I didn't hear this. He said, well, the ball is in your court.
All right, welcome back. You've heard the things she said, how she has been, pressured, to give in to taking care of the Senate President. Well, I think by knowledge, we don't, judge, an issue by hearing from one side. So we're looking forward that we're going to hear from, Senate President concerning this matter. So, but I know we already understand how this whole game plays out. But when it comes to this kind of allegation, does it really happen? Yes, of course, they do. Particularly when it comes to, the government cycle, where, people wield all kinds of powers, being your boss and all that. So when you refuse to do what they ask you to do, they will punish you for that. And one of the punishment will be taking you out of, your comfort zone in the department where you are and put you in a department where you just run away, where nothing happens. And they forgot you there. And that's one of their ways, of punishing people. Again, they're going to cut you off from any trip, any tax, any assignment that they feel that you benefit, whatever you benefit from it. Maybe you got DTA for going for that assignment, and they connect you to, to people, and it gives you more privilege, to develop yourself and others. So they're going to yank you out of it to make sure that they make you redundant and stagnate you at that point. Even when it comes to promotion, they will make sure they frustrate you that you don't get those promotions, and you're going to see your juniors, crossing over you and all that. All this is because you have refused to do something that is not legal, or something that doesn't fit with your conscience, or something that doesn't fit with your integrity. So you pay a price for doing what is right. That's exactly how the system works. So the allegation, does it really happen, in a workplace, not just in government sector, even in private sector as well? They do happen. But majorly in government cycle is kind of a bad experience, if you have gone through those kind of stuff. So, but we can't conclude until we hear, from the Senate President. In as much as if you ask me, I can tell you that I already understood, the comment that's going to come out from there. If the media team can put up this kind of response they did, alleging that she wears transparent cloth to, to the chambers, and also that she doesn't have, much knowledge of legislative rules, as well as because of her makeup and stuff like that. You can imagine what's going to come out from them when it comes to this kind of, topic of sexual harassment. I think when you listen to what, Natasha has been saying concerning these sexual harassment issues, she calls names. She mentioned names of people, mentions the events, mentions the activities, so which I do believe that those kind of, people will be there as kind of witnesses. Again, I think the call log of both parties, can be picked up, from the telecommunications, offices, by, getting the necessary approvals, from the police and all that. And then investigation can be conducted deeper, to know what really transpired between the two. And, she mentions dates of when some of these incidents, took place. So with that, they can easily call up, the call log to confirm what she's saying. But, when it comes to this kind of, situation, when an ant is fighting an elephant, you know what it means. The elephant has a lot of, backups and people around him who can cover his tracks here and there, because they don't want to let the elephant to go down. Rather, they're going to sacrifice the ant. So when it comes to this kind of fight, between Senator Natasha Akpoti, and Senator Godswill Akpabio, I think it's a fight that is like David and Goliath. So she's going to need a lot of God's intervention for her to be able to push this kind of narrative through. The Senate President, will probably also sue and counter sue. So this one is suing for defamation, for what they said concerning her. And maybe the Senate President may also, counter sue that she's alleging sexual harassment. So nobody knows. But I think at the end of the day, all these things are gonna just die away, and that's quite unfortunate. Which I believe that the work environment is supposed to protect the women seriously, because women working in a male-dominated environment is not easy. It's not easy for them. So the way they are treated, the way they are managed, and other need to be very exceptional. So when you look at the frustration, even in the face of Senator Natasha Akpoti, it tells you what she has gone through, in the red chambers, and more especially if truly she has been singled out, for all this kind of pay to play. So you will know that it's a difficult thing for her to manage, to bottle in, and it's quite a difficult experience for her, which I think other women in the chambers and also in the House of Reps should be able to rally around her, because it's not easy going through the mental torture, of this kind of scenario. Again, I will continue to, plead and request that our leaders, especially men, wherever you are, in any office, in any position that you are, please ensure that the environment is conducive for our women to be able to, work and be able to discharge their responsibilities, to bring out their potential. May this kind of work environment that we are creating, trying to frustrate women, trying to force them to do what does not align to their principles, all in the name that we are their boss or we are in the position of authority, that kind of scenario need to come to an end. And now that she has come out on air, to put out this information out there, they will still go and work towards frustrating the truth from coming out. So that is the problem, because they are well connected. So they have all the paraphernalia, to manage and control, virtually all the arms of agencies of government that will participate in this kind of investigation. So for her to have come out to say this, I think that the Nigerian police should be able to, carry out investigation on this. Like she mentioned, that DSS and the Nigerian police should be able to get the call log, that goes on between two of them, and they can be able to see what she's saying, and maybe their chat and all that. So all this can be called out, because the Nigerian Telecommunication Network have the capacity to provide all this evidence and information, provided there is a proper, court warrant to get that done. So they should go and do that, so that we begin, at this time, to nip this kind of scenarios in the bud. Women cannot just come to the office to work and go. Men will be harassing them, talking down on them, because they refuse to do what they ask them to do. So, and I know in the Senate, I know that the Senate President has a lot of key guys that is, surrounding him there. All these guys, they work together. They know, how they navigate their things and maneuver things within the assembly. Like all the bills you see, they pass within 2 hours. These are the guys that play all the, background, roles to see it go through. So, and one thing we will remember the 10th Assembly is that they are an agency to the executive. That's how we will remember them, because they only do what the president wants, and that is it. They don't care what the citizen wants. And tomorrow they'll stand in the red chamber and say they are representing, the Nigerian people. I don't think so, because whatever they are doing there is not in the interest of the citizens. I recall when they did the end bad governance protest, and also the protest against hunger. I recall even the Senate President mocking those who want to conduct the protest, that as they are protesting, he will be in his house eating chicken. So is it the kind of statement that someone that is representing the people that are hungry need to be saying? So these are the things that, shows that their representation is not for the people. Their representation is for themselves and also for the executive, so that they can be able to partner together to do whatever they want to do for themselves and enjoy their lives. So that is what it is. So look at the statement that Sen Natasha Akpoti made. All right, she was the chairman committee on local content, and when she assumed the position, there was zero naira in the account of the committee. And every month they receive 900K or 950K monthly as running costs for the committee. And based on what she was, putting out there, she said that she was approached. Why is this money still staying here? At the end of the month, even if there's nothing that was done, the money is brought out and shared among the members. And she said, no, I'm not going to do that. This money is the running cost for, if we don't have anything we have done for this month, the money stays there until when we have something to do, then we can expend the money for the purpose it was meant for. Obviously, they didn't sit well with, the members, and they probably went behind her and rallied support to be able to push her away, because she's not following the norm. And that is the problem that we have when it comes to Nigerian government. Once you are doing the right thing, they will edge you out. That is why the redemption of Nigeria is a very difficult task. So many of the people in positions of authority are only interested to be doing the same thing that works for them, irrespective of how it works for others. They don't care. So because she refused to be releasing those monies to be sharing every month, they plotted to remove her from there, and they levied all kinds of accusation on her. And she proudly said that when she left the committee, She has over 13 million in that account. The money that have been accruing and accruing. That the only expenditure she recorded that was made was procurement of printer for the department, and she planned to kind of ensure that she has the formidable team from different departments in terms of making sure there's a lawyer, there's an accountant, there's a team, a good team that is made up of different skills that will help her to drive the committee, and they labeled it that she was doing all sort of stuff with the staff and so on and so forth. So, and one thing I know about Nigerian system is for them to get rid of you, especially when you are doing what is right, they will look for accusation, put it around you, suspend you, and you are out. If you go and ask all the chairmen of EFCC, they will tell you what I'm telling you. Ask them. They will label you with something, get rid of you, and that's the end of that news. So they took her out. She has balance, and today the balance is gone. So when you look at what is happening in the Nigerian sector, the corruption is so endemic, very, very institutionalized, that for you to unbundle this corruption, a lot of people will go down, just like they are doing in the United States today, which they call the deep state. You can see what is taking, President Donald Trump to unbundle, this deep state and be able to take them out from the system entirely. And you can see the names they are calling the president. They are calling Elon Musk, who is through the Doge, are doing this thing, cutting waste and all those. You can hear what they go through every day, even threat to life and all that, just because they want to do what is right for their people. So this is what it takes to unbundle this kind of people. It's very difficult because they have built that taproot and foundation, and they have planted people in different positions in different other sectors that works with them. So this fight between Natasha and Senator Godswill Akpabio is a big one for Natasha, because I don't think she has all the things she needs to pull this one through, because these guys she's trying to fight, it's going to be a difficult one for her. But I know that God will be on her side as far as she's doing what is right. God will vindicate her at the right time. So that's just what I can see, going on here. If she rubs pancake to her house, or she does whatever she feel like doing for herself, I don't see how it is somebody's problem. I don't think so. So she's a lawyer, she's learned, she knows what she's doing. So, and she has pulled through from Kogi State. She has gone through a lot of battles with the former governor of Kogi State, Ayabelo, there, to get into the National Assembly, and then another fight in the National Assembly. What exactly is going on? What is really this issue around her that everybody want to pick a fight with her? So probably because she doesn't do what people want her to do, that is not in line with her principles and attributes. So basically, that's maybe the issue, because I know how she went, what she went through, during her contest for this position in Kogi State, Kogi Central, before she got into the Senate. So I don't know where this whole stuff gonna end up, but I think it's not a good one for the Senate President, being accused publicly of sexual harassment. And I don't know, but I think it's really appalling, hearing this kind of thing, on air. And then I recall that the day she spoke with the Brekete family on phone, I can see the frustration in her voice. So well, I think now that she's speaking up, I think it's going to also help her to rebalance herself and get her sanity back, because this kind of pressure and stress, causes a lot of mental stress, as the case may be. So I do hope and see how this whole thing goes to be. And the mother is already in court for the defamation. So this one is another aspect that is not part of what is already in court. So the only person that may take action is the Senate President, is the person that is supposed to take action by coming out to share his own side of the story, debunk it or accept it, whichever one that it is. And then if he didn't fit to fight for defamation, oh, that's fine. Then at the court, evidences will come out, and then Nigerians will know what really transpired behind the scene. On that note, I'm going to leave this issue here, and expect that you put in your comment at the comment section. Let's discuss further on this. Do you believe what he said? What do you think the Senate President going to respond? Do you think he's going to respond? Even if he responds, what do you anticipate he's going to say? Obviously, your guess is as good as mine. So, but we'll see how it plays out. So, if you are new to my channel, guys, don't forget to like and share this video, and click on the subscription button and also the notification bell, so that as soon as my next video drops, you should be among those that will be notified immediately, and you need to get it as it is hot. All right, so we keep tab on this information, and keep tab on what transpires in the court as well concerning the defamation case, and we'll watch out to see what the Senate President has to say concerning what Natasha Akpoti has alleged, and then at the end of the day we'll come to a conclusion to unravel the truth. So guys, I'm gonna see you in my next video. I do hope you have a wonderful day ahead of you. I'm signing out. See ya.